Hello, my name is Nathan Taylor, otherwise known as Sockmatician, and this is a video tutorial to accompany the Sockmatician's double knitted brioche ebook. This particular video shows you how to work reverse stocking stitch in double knitting rather than double knitted brioche. Reverse stocking stitch just means purl bumps showing up on the front. In double knitting, because the back and the front are mirror images of each other, there'll be purl bumps on the back and purl bumps on the front. And it's assumed that to begin with, it's the knit coloured yarn that I want to create the purl bumps on the front of the work, and the pearl coloured yarn that will be presenting us with the purl bumps on the back of the work. For consistency, I'm going to keep using the terms knit coloured yarn and pearl coloured yarn, regardless of whether each one is actually making a knit stitch or a purl stitch at the time. Let's assume also that I've just finished a standard pair of double knitted brioche stitches, which I haven't, but let's pretend that we have. Your knit coloured yarn will be at the back of the work going over the top of the right needle, and your pearl coloured yarn will be at the front of the work. So that's where I'm going to pretend we are at the beginning. So if I had just finished some double knitted brioche pairs of stitches there, my yarns would be in this position. So in order to get into the right positions for creating PAKB pairs, which means purling with my yarn A and knitting with my yarn B, PAKB, what I need to do is I bring my knit coloured yarn to the front of the work coming between the two needles, and I take my pearl coloured yarn to the back of the work also between the two needles. Basically I've just switched the positions over. Then I can, with my knit coloured yarn, I can purl the first stitch of the pair. Now because I'm working in reverse stocking stitch, I don't need to change the positions of my yarns at all between stitches. I can just go ahead and knit the second stitch of the pair with my pearl coloured yarn. Repeat that again. I just purl with my knit coloured yarn, knit with my pearl coloured yarn, because they're already front and back of the work. They're exactly where they need to be without any shenanigans in between stitches or indeed in between pairs. I just purl with my knit coloured yarn and knit with my pearl coloured yarn. You can see already that that's creating knit coloured pearl bumps on the front of the work and some pearl coloured pearl bumps on the back of the work. That's exactly what we want to see. Once I've completed a pair of purling with my knit coloured yarn and knitting with my pearl coloured yarn, I've got my knit coloured yarn in front of the work and my pearl coloured yarn behind it. All I need to do is bring my pearl coloured yarn to the front of the work coming between the two needles, and then take my knit coloured yarn to the back of the work going over the top of the right needle, and then I would be in the right positions for continuing with double knitted brioche. If on the other hand I wanted to have my pearl coloured yarn forming the pearl stitches on the front of the work and my knit coloured yarn forming the stitches on the back of the work, the good news is that after completing a standard pair of DK brioche stitches, the two yarns are already in the required positions, so the steps are even simpler. So again, let's assume that I've just finished some double knitted brioche. My knit coloured yarn is at the back of the work over the top of the right needle, and my pearl coloured yarn is at the front, having come between the two needles. The yarns are already exactly where I need them, so I can just purl with my pearl coloured yarn and knit with my knit coloured yarn, purl with my pearl coloured yarn and knit with my knit coloured yarn, purl with my pearl coloured yarn and knit with my knit coloured yarn. There's actually no need to move the yarns around in between stitches or pairs, and you can see here that I'm already starting to form some pearl bumps. If I had created the previous row with the contrast colour, then you would see how nicely these become pearl coloured pearl bumps there. They're not, so they're a little bit mild. That's just for the purposes of this demonstration. When I finish working in this section of purling with my pearl coloured yarn and knitting with my knit coloured yarn, the good news is that both yarns are already in the correct positions for going straight back into double knitted brioche, and I could just work the next pair according to the instructions for double knitted brioche, and there I am. That's all you need to know about working reverse stocking stitch in double knitting.